What's going on? Welcome back here for another East Coast Avengers. We are going to rewatch both of the trailers for the Super Bowl spots for. What are you doing?
I was counting how many trailers we had.
Yeah, so we have two actually. We're gonna do the Disney Plus one, and we're gonna do the Black Widow one. So we're gonna start with the Black Widow. Quickly talk about her for 5 minutes, give our thoughts, that kind of a thing, and then we'll do the Disney Plus one. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
You don't know everything about me. The Avengers weren't my first family.
I thought he was doing the yell.
At some point we all have to choose between what the world wants you to be.
Everyone's favorite moment.
I know, right?
And who you are.
May 1st.
Can't wait.
Let's go.
All right, so what are your thoughts?
Obviously, Taskmaster's the highlight.
Taskmaster, yeah.
I think we all want to see him. I wish, because we're not fighting experts, but I wish he does key moves where we can tell what hero he got that from.
Yeah.
Right.
Like a Spider-Man pose, Cap shield, something from Black Widow, something from Hawkeye.
Right.
Like he uses a bow and arrow. Like I want to see signature moves that each hero has done in MCU and him doing it.
Oh.
So it could be like little Easter eggs. So, oh my god, that's so and so's move.
And as far as we know, I don't think he's been there hasn't been a reveal, right?
Yeah.
Do you think there can be an unmasking at the end or something?
Maybe.
I think they're going to show
like
it
Black Widow might
close.
chip off his mask, like a Scooby-Doo.
Kind of like a Mandalorian less episode, just like.
Oh yeah. For
So do you
quick
think?
second.
So do you think they might reveal it until like the movie is out in theaters, or do you think they might show it before?
I think
it's
they'll
out?
do it like a Scooby-Doo review, you know, where they find the bad guy at the end and lift his mask up.
Yeah.
Or, wait a minute,
They
it's already been casted. It's just right
That's
in
what
front
I'm
of our
saying.
noses.
I mean, yeah, we know it's
Might
already
be
been
someone
cast,
that
but
we
we
know.
just
No, like the character playing the
It
movie
could be-
is already right in front of our noses.
It could be Will Ferrell for all we know.
no. Like what I'm saying is like it's someone in the movie we've already seen.
Yeah, like someone that looks trustworthy.
I know what you're saying, but I'm saying Disney is good at covering.
Oh
it up.
well, yeah.
So if
It
you're telling
could
me,
literally be anyone.
if you're telling me David Harbour moves as fast as Taskmaster,
Hey,
there's no way you're outweighing the
hey,
options.
you never know.
Yeah, like how
guy-
did he die in Stranger Things, right? If he's doing
Wait
this
a
stuff,
minute.
right? So this trailer obviously didn't have any new footage, or like
Yeah,
nothing
some
that was
small.
I mean, like
small
it but
include,
nothing
yeah.
like
Nothing-
too revealing. It was a
yeah.
quick trailer.
Action scenes.
Yeah. Do you want to see more trailers before the movie comes out, or are you?
think
I
this
think
is
we're going to
enough.
get one more trailer.
One more
Yeah.
trailer. without
Honestly,
the
if a new
spoilers.
one comes out, the only reason I would watch it is to do a reaction.
Mhm.
If it was on my own,
There's
I
no
would just wait
point.
till the movie comes out.
We have
I
what
did
we
the same
need.
thing with Endgame. I would watch the first trailer, every other teaser trailer after that, never watched them. Because I was just like, I'll wait till the movie comes out.
One thing
And
I do.
sometimes, sorry,
No, you're good.
sometimes when you're looking for stuff, sometimes it does get spoiled. For me, I saw a frame of Tony with the
Oh,
Infinity
yeah, you
Gauntlet.
told us that.
That got ruined for me.
Mhm.
So after that, I'm like, nope, staying off
Yeah.
Twitter. I'm just gonna wait till the movie comes out. That's
The
just-
one thing I want to point out that she said that kind of has been, I guess, floating around the internet is when she tells them the Avengers weren't my first family.
Mhm.
Now, if you go back, she said that line as in, y'all were my first family in Endgame. So the whole time travel thing, that kind of was
Do you think that might
brought
have
up.
affected it?
Maybe. Because in Endgame, she's talking to Cap, if y'all remember, and she says, I had nothing before I found y'all, and y'all are my family. Then she comes in here and she says, the Avengers weren't my first family.
Now keep in mind, this does take place after Civil War,
Right.
and by then, like she's already part of the Avengers. Like,
Mhm.
So
But the fact that she says, you know, the family line
yeah,
now in this movie, and then she says it again in
there were those pin particles.
that's the
It
big
looked
thing.
like it.
Yeah,
You know,
that-
we don't know what
And-
else it could be.
Darren, I know you've seen the pops.
Yeah.
The pops that came out, they look almost identical to pin particles. I mean, down to the little capsule on the top of the
Yeah.
thing. So
Little
I don't
details
know
that
if that
pops.
was a spoiler from Funko or not, but
It does happen.
They have
Obviously.
tendencies. Usually, toys do have a tendency to kind of spoil something very minor.
especially
I know
yeah,
they
they do.
spoiled Endgame with
Legends.
the suits they
suits.
had.
Yeah, the suits.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the treads.
It's supposed
I know
Video.
they spoiled a few years ago with Civil War. They had the action figure of Ant-Man in his
Oh, yeah.
giant form.
Mhm.
I remember that being like a big spoiler at
Yeah.
one point.
Yeah.
Giant man.
Yeah.
And Lego sets too.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah.
I really
Lego
want them to
sets
try to
big.
contain Taskmaster though for an Ant-Man movie because
Oh,
he's
yeah.
mainly an Ant-Man villain,
Mhm.
and that would be so cool for them to interact. And I just hope they don't kill Taskmaster off. I hope that when we find out who it is, I kind of hope it isn't someone we've seen already.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I kind of do because it'd be
Yeah.
really satisfying, like to see who's under the mask and like, oh, I know who that person is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
we'll see what happens with Taskmaster.
And I
Um,
do hope he's not part of some evil organization.
Yeah.
I just want him to be his own.
Though I would like to know his
Yeah.
backstory. I don't
Oh,
want him to
yeah,
just
yeah.
come out of nowhere. I
Yeah.
wonder why he's out of.
Yeah,
why
He's
he's,
why he's doing what
usually
he's doing.
working by himself like 95% of the
Oh
time.
yeah,
in,
yeah, but you know,
comics.
it's
We saw.
MCU.
I mean, we see his goons fly, in the air when the ship or wherever they're at fall into, when Black Widow's
Widow's
diving
diving,
through
yeah.
and they're shooting at her. We see, we almost are positive that those are people that are working with
Yeah.
Taskmaster.
Or Taskmaster could be a wild card for
Mhm.
another villain, and he's just kind of like in the crossfire.
Yeah.
My biggest question is, what happens with the rest of her family? What happens to Red Guardian?
Yeah, where
after
do they
this?
go? I
What
mean,
happens to, obviously, we
do they
think-
die?
Well,
Does his sister? I guess not sister, but we don't know for sure. But Yelena Belanova.
yeah,
Does she
had-
take up the mantle as a new Black Widow?
Well, she has that. She has in Infinity War, the little vest that
Yeah.
Black Widow wears is what she's wearing in
Yeah.
in this movie. So does she grab that after her sister dies and says, I'll kind of carry this on with you,
yeah, like
with me.
did they go into hiding after the events of this
Mhm.
movie,
Like-
and then they don't come out until her funeral?
Exactly. That's my one question, because we've seen, we know pretty much after this movie what happens with Black Widow.
absolutely.
My question is, what
She was
happens
in
with
both.
Red Guardian and the rest?
Yeah,
of her
and where did
family
they go
stuff?
from this?
Right.
Like, is this a story end at Black Widow,
Mhm.
or did they continue with something out of this
Like,
movie?
this is
Do
what-
we continue to see Taskmaster in the MCU? Do we continue to see Red Guardian? Questions like that, I hope we get answered. I hope they don't just have a one-off. I know Black Widow, they have
Yeah.
to kill her off.
Yeah.
Or she's already killed off.
She's already dead.
But this is
Yeah.
her finale.
Right.
Right.
So, but what else comes with this movie?
Would y'all feel the need for a second Black Widow, or would you feel like this one is?
I think
No,
this
this
one
is
should be a
enough.
one
Yeah.
and done.
You mean
That's what I'm
Black
done.
Widow as in Scarlett Johansson playing Black Widow, or
Yes.
just the mantle of Black
no,
Widow?
like ScarJo?
Well, I
playing-
mean, yeah, she's dead, so it would be kind of.
because what?
kinda-
Because
It's
okay,
already too late for this Black Widow
Right,
anyway.
right.
So to bring out another one, it's like it's
And then-
unnecessary. I
And
still
then
watch
we already been asking for a Black Widow movie ever since Avengers
Yeah, no,
came out.
yeah.
And
Ever
so-
since I think Iron Man 2.
Right, and then I always said this movie came far too late, but I'm
Absolutely.
happy that we're getting it. But it's just we were expecting a trilogy from
Right.
Black Widow and Scarlett Johansson.
If anyone else
because-
deserved it, and to bring another one, it wouldn't make sense.
Mhm.
So one
now,
is good.
If they did a mantle, if if Yelena doesn't die in this movie and then the Black Widow mantle is passed to her. Now I wouldn't mind if they did a second Black Widow movie with
Exactly.
what was
Yelena as Black
Yelena
Widow.
doing during the
Right.
events
Well,
of
questions
Infinity
like
War?
that need to be answered if that's what
Right,
route
right.
they take. So
Mhm.
it's like that. They really have to make sure they're making the right decision
Mhm.
because us as fans
Right.
and people that keep up with this, we're going to be bothered by time and
Yeah,
time
time,
mistakes and
yeah.
stuff. That will bother us. So
Mhm.
I think we're going to go and jump into our next. What's up?
Could possibly show so the movie plays out before Endgame and all that stuff,
Mhm.
but at the end it could show maybe a flashback of Black Widow dying, whatever, and then or not even that, but showing where Red Guardians goes,
Yeah.
Mhm.
where her sister goes, and maybe if they uncover who Taskmaster is, what happens to him if he gets locked up, if he gets killed,
Mhm.
whatever the case may be, showing alternate timelines maybe, or just showing the location of wherever they go.
Yeah, that'd be
Something,
that'd be
possibility.
interesting.
We're going to go ahead and watch the 30-second for the Disney Plus shows.
Oh, yep.
So without further ado, let's get right into it.
Oh, that shield.
Did you see his throw?
Oh yeah, he
Oh,
does
wait.
it so perfectly.
Slightly
And
different. than
he doesn't
Cap,
have the
but
serum either.
The same
Yeah.
music from Black Widow.
Similar, yeah.
Oh man.
Here's your
Oh,
residence.
I'm so interested by this.
I want to say something about that
Yes,
scene right there.
U.S. agent.
And
I'm
Loki.
gonna burn this place to the ground.
All right,
Oh,
there's
man.
one quick question that I want to jump right into.
Oh man.
There were so many flashes in this trailer. Is there one scene that stuck out to you the most?
Ooh,
Mine would have to
Scarlett.
be Scarlett Johansson and seeing her with the headdress on because I know
Yes.
so many people were asking for that ever
Ooh.
since she made her debut in the MCU, and we know it's gonna look, outlandish and everything because we remember her very first headdress when she debuted with the Brotherhood of Mutants. And so, like, the fact that we actually get to see this, we know that's not going to be her official costume for sure. But I think fans were just really ecstatic to see her, you know, in that headdress, and then, like, as a nod to her very original costume that she had on. So that was my favorite
Scene out of all those.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
Same one. Honestly.
Same one?
Yeah, just
Oh.
seeing that classic like Scarlet Witch, it fits, and like a lot of fans have been waiting so long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
For me, it's the most interesting one was the U.S. agent on the
Oh,
football
that was
field.
mine.
Yeah,
That was
because
mine.
I don't know, I could be wrong, but that gives me Captain America 1 vibes
Mhm.
when he was going across
Oh,
the
during
war,
the tours and
doing the
everything.
tours for the war effort. So I was wondering if they're going to use him as like a fill-in while they're training, like Falcon and Winter Soldier, like to keep America like happy or something.
Yeah. Why is he?
Why,
relevant?
yeah, why would he be in the middle of a football game?
Yeah.
Like, Cap has never
Who was in
done
the
that.
middle again.
It was you.
Well, Cap has done something relevant to that. It's when he was promoting the war bonds. He wasn't
Yeah.
fighting. He was just promoting
Promoting
stuff.
them.
He was
Mhm.
kind of like a show person.
Yeah, and I know that. but
And
he
that's what it
hasn't-
appears that he's doing.
Yeah, but he hasn't done that in modern day Cap.
No.
Yeah, and-
yeah, of course. But
Yeah, and I don't know. People are in celebration mode because Thanos is gone and all that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm interested to what the behind the scenes behind that scene is
See-
because it looks interesting to me.
I had a different vibe to that though. See, I can see yours where they're kind of like saying, "Okay, Falcon, you're going to train, but we're going to use this as like a doppelganger or something like that."
right.
I got a different vibe of U.S. Agent is just he's trying to take over, and that's what Falcon and Winter Soldier's kind of mission throughout this is to stop
So
him.
you think U.S. agent could be an adversary?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't think of it like, yeah.
I mean, think of it. You know, he has Cap shield. How'd he get it? You know, I don't think he walked up to Falcon and said, "Can I have the
it?"
shield?" I don't think he did that.
Mhm.
I also think that when he's, I feel like if, as close as we are, if someone came up that's not me and was trying to act like me and use my likeness and stuff, y'all would have been like, "Wait a minute, that's not really, that's not really JT." So I feel like Falcon and Winter Soldier are kind of seeing this without knowing, and we're like, "Wait a minute,
They probably
that's
see on the news. Like,
yeah,
who
it's
is
like
this guy?
why is he copycatting what our Cap is doing?"
Mhm.
So I feel like that's
he,
kind
he doesn't really look like that's not America's ass, man.
Hey, look, we just saw that little 30 seconds. You don't know what it looks like.
Yeah.
I mean, if you say,
I need a close-up picture.
That's it. I need a little zoom because Cap.
yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Beckham's.
What's your favorite?
For me, I gotta say it was the scene where it's black and white and Wanda's kind of coming out of a television and it's all warpy and stuff.
I have.
I
It
have
just-
a theory about that.
Okay,
too.
that I don't have a theory on. It just stuck out to me the most. Well, that and then my name he just blanked on me. Sam throwing the shield because he doesn't have the serum,
Mhm.
and Cap threw it, and it made sense because he has super strength, right? But when it came back, like I'm just thinking, like how does it work with Sam? Does he take a serum? Like does he just
Oh,
train?
they-
teaches him to throw it like that?
They said like since the shield is made out of vibranium,
Right.
that the shield is like really really lightweight, so but possibly anybody can throw it with that much force
Right.
depending on.
It
their
looked
strength.
like a frame for frame way of how Chris Evans threw it.
Yeah.
It was very well done.
Mhm.
But
yeah, I'm sure they have technology that they have tons of footage on Cap that Sam has studied, and,
Yeah.
and pretty sure being Cap's friend for all these years, you can probably pick up on some
Mhm.
moves.
And I noticed that from the panel in, I think it was Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con. They revealed these shows, or they revealed that all the shows from Comic Con and D23. I don't remember when they revealed WandaVision, but they said it would be like a sitcom. But
Right.
something I noticed was there was a mixture of like I Love Lucy filled in with like Brady Bunch 70s vibes, filled in with a little bit of like 90s sitcom.
Leave it to Beaver.
Yeah, exactly. The hair looked like some of a frame looked like from the 80s. So it's like
Everybody loves
you
it.
have time periods of different sitcoms. I'm curious because it doesn't feel like one period sitcom. You know what I'm saying? It was like 4 different decades worth of it.
I
So
think
curious what the deal is with that and then how they're going to integrate that with the horror and the realism. There was 2 cribs. There was 2 pacifiers.
We talked about
one
that in the
shot.
podcast,
One
yeah.
shot looked like she was pregnant.
Mhm.
So obviously that could be leading into like the Young Avengers and maybe House of M where she goes crazy and Vision's not real. What's your theory? I'm really curious to know.
all right. So when I was saying when she was like you said, she was coming out of television. My theory on that is that I think that's the scene where she realizes that everything is fake around you.
She has a
Like
Truman
Vision.
Show moment.
Right, so I think that's when she realizes Vision is fake, her kids are fake, her life is fake, and then I think that's the scene where she really goes like mentally unstable. I think when the set pictures were revealed like a few months ago, they had like Wanda sitting outside, or I think Elizabeth Olsen was just on the phone talking, and then they had like the Sword building in the background. So I think she probably went to Sword for help, or Sword like came to her. And I feel like Sword is trying to figure out probably like what's going on with her or something like that. So that's just kind of my theory on like what's happening in that scene right there. And I think we did talk about like in our first season of our podcast where it was either rumored that like you said, we have like different time periods. Like each episode will focus into like we'll focus on like the 60s in this episode, then we'll go to the 70s, 80s, 90s, and
To the present.
further episodes. Yeah. So I think, how many episodes are we going to have for WandaVision?
Did they say six?
Six?
I think?
Six,
Six
yeah.
maybe?
Because
Something
I know
like
they
that,
said like the first half will be like, just focusing on just Wanda and Vision and their life, and then the last three will actually lead into Doctor Strange into the madness, multiverse, whatever the title is.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna ask, do you think that these clips are from the season, or are they just from this first episode?
See,
I really-
I think it's from maybe.
I
The season.
really do think that they're all from the first episode.
You think
Like,
so?
I think so. I really do think so. Like, aside from maybe like one or two, I could see them. I really do think these are all just first episode clips,
Mhm.
and since it's so short, like a second of them are like quick, and they're such in different locations that you would assume they're along the season. But I mean, we all
I
got
feel
food.
like
We
that-
all got food with Endgame,
Right.
and that was the
Mhm.
first 15 minutes.
See, my theory on that is I'm going a different route. I think when she appears and she kind of like stumbles, I feel like that is her tapping into Vision's mind. And here's why. Because she looks so modern day and Vision looks so older
Yeah.
in the
He
two
was
scenes.
grave, like when he died.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like whatever happened at the end of Endgame or whatever, they have his body or whatever they did with it. I feel like she taps into his mind or goes into his, his memory and kind of lives out her life what it should be like. So I
Yeah.
feel like that first episode is going to be her kind of tapping into his mind and how to do that and stuff.
Because Vision wasn't snapped away.
Exactly.
He just died.
His body goes completely gray.
Right.
And then that's how we see him in most of these, pictures that we saw. But when she goes into, I mean, you hit on it, like 100%. It's like the 60s with like the Brady Bunch, the 70s with, this how the staircase is when they're coming down. You even
The
saw,
outfits.
even the outfits. When I was growing up, I watched Full House, and I got a real big Full House scene when she was pregnant. Like,
I think it's a nod because her sisters
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
from the
Yeah,
Olsen
so-
twins.
Oh,
The Olsen
that
twins,
is
yeah.
right.
So like I feel like they're taking each of those
Yeah,
decades of those like prominent TV shows that we saw, and they each one is based on a thing. And then we saw the two cribs with the two pacifiers jumping up. Obviously, we know that they want to cast young, actors and actresses to play the her children. And then I thought yours was going to be that scene because that's setting up, in my opinion, the House of M like that. I mean, that to me, that's what that's doing.
And this correlates to the movie,
Yeah.
Doctor Strange Multiverse
Right.
of Madness.
Mhm.
So I think this might be the most pivotal turning point show out of all of them. I think the rest are going to be very fun, very
Yeah,
whatever,
straightforward.
important story, but this one's very pivotal to how the
Well,
rest
as of right now,
Right.
who knows? Winter Soldier or Loki,
yeah.
they could have
Now,
Could take a
some.
turn.
I'm glad you said that too because we didn't talk about Loki. We only saw him saying, "I can't wait to burn this place to the ground."
No, now I have a theory that you could tell from his clothes, like he's been captured, and he's planning on like.
But do you know who he's captured
That's
by?
that's the thing. I
That's
don't
the
know.
thing.
And
Maybe
this
he
is the
captured
thing-
by,
It does say it
Lo-
does give on his on
Yeah.
the patch. It says TVA, which is the time variant authorities.
Okay.
If you
Now-
I know Dom, you might know who those are, but the time that whole group is a authoritative kind of like
Do they like exist outside of time?
what they do is any time that time gets messed with, they jump into
They're like
it.
the Men in Black.
Oh,
time.
well,
Time, please.
the,
no, I mean they really
DC
yeah.
has the Legends of Tomorrow,
Yeah.
and they call anomalies, every time that something happened. Like there was one episode where a flu got exposed in Civil War, and they created zombies
See,
because their immune systems weren't as good as ours,
right,
and it affected their DNA, which is different from ours. 200 years later,
right.
So they had zombies in the Civil War from the common flu from 2010 or
Right.
whatever the time.
So
Stuff like that was like really cool, but that was a show, so every episode was always like something different.
yeah, it's kind of like the what if. When we're
Yeah,
doing
like
the-
a what if.
yeah.
Exactly. That whole show is a what if. The thing that I've noticed with Loki throughout the MCU is every time he's confident about something, he's usually gonna do something. In Avengers 1, when he was so calm when he got captured, he had a whole plan devised.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? But then you saw him in like Thor Ragnarok or Thor 2, and he just kind of
Dark
seemed
World.
like, I'm defeated, you know?
Yeah.
So every time he seemed like sure of himself, and he did seem very sure of himself in the
Well, we got to
clip.
remember too, what we just saw was 2012 Loki, where
Yeah.
he's still evil.
Right,
Right.
from Avengers 1.
when he did, when he did look defeated or whatever, was kind of his turning point into, that okay, I'm going to be like an anti-hero. I'm going to use a line that they use against me against Thanos, saying we have a Hulk. That
Right,
kind
right.
of, But when he got captured, because I read up on it and I was like, what does this mean? Because they obviously have him positioned to where the logo is
It's like
shown,
showing,
shown, and it's TVA.
They wouldn't want it to show if it wasn't for a reason.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They
Now
They
posed
know that
him-
we are going to analyze
They
it.
posed him like that way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And when I looked into it and I saw that these are basically time cops almost, there was one main guy who was always like the chief or the sergeant, Owen Wilson.
Oh, wow, really?
That's just
You think-
I'm just
you
throwing it
think
out.
you think he's gonna play that guy?
I'm just throwing it out because you don't throw out a character like Owen Wilson who doesn't. Honestly, Owen Wilson doesn't have to me doesn't feel like a vibe of superpowers or
No.
a superhero.
He does seem like how do I put it, a minor role in a TV show for something like this. Not a major role in a movie, and definitely not a major role in this show.
Well, I mean, they have. I mean, when they casted him, they said that he's going to play a major role.
Well,
in the
maybe a
show.
major role, but not like with superpowers. But like
No,
he
yeah.
he has a role, but he's not. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
And that-
Yeah, I could see him in a suit discussing time and like how to
with like
you
a
can't-
briefcase talking to Loki.
Yeah,
about,
like
you know,
literally, like you can't do this. You can't mess with time. This is what
Right.
happens, and then explain the whole thing.
Mhm.
I
See,
can see him doing
That's
that.
couple
my
couple
theory.
wows here and there.
Yeah,
Wow.
and then like a
Wow.
wow gun. Yeah,
Wow.
Wow.
yeah.
How many?
Wow.
We're gonna. There's gonna be wow
Gonna-
counts.
yeah,
for how
gonna
many
have
wows
to
it
count.
is.
Wow.
Do a live feature.
They're
How many wows
gonna
are we
throw
at?
one in for like
Oh.
Loki's gonna do something crazy.
The perfect
and it's gonna
thing-
zoom in on him and be like,
Wow.
The perfect thing would be Luis and Ant-Man doing a recap
Oh
of
my
all the events in MCU, and then Owen Wilson, wow, and then
Yeah.
end it.
or the best part about it is after we get another 15 seconds or 10 seconds of the end of what we saw where he says, I'm going to burn this place to the ground, and it pans over the... Wow.
how are you gonna pull that
That's
off?
what
How are you going to pull that off?
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
So the
But-
episode starts off.
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
and I want to see.
Zoom into space.
I want to see at D23 or Comic Con when they had the Loki panel, him pop out and one
Wow.
more guest, Owen Wilson, and he's like, and then
Wow.
yeah, I want to.
That's all you're going to hear. The whole crowd is just
Yeah.
going to say in one big wow.
Yeah, it's like, can you just give us a quick?
Yeah,
little-
just what do you got?
little-
What do you got to say about
yeah,
your role? in
he's
this?
like-
wow.
Yeah, that's what
I'm about to
I
report
gotta
it back
see
to
that.
Cusco.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for watching this episode, and yeah, we'll see you then.
Oh, nice. That was good.